Are you ready? It is time for Vaalmonica. Vaalmonica is all about setting up resonance counters on your pendulum scales to then give you protection from destruction. And also, it gives you the ability to summon your super special Link 1 monsters. Now, all of the Vaalmonica spells are kind of weird because if you don't have a Vaalmonica card in your pendulum zone, your opponent chooses the effect. They have two effects and the opponent chooses. Generally, the take damage effect is better than the gain life point effect, and that's how the deck works. Are you ready?
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
All right, all right. We have Domino. Vaalmonica is going to set up itself and the other into the pendulum scale. We're going to activate the Celta, come and search our deck for any Vaalmonica card. The Vaalmonica field spell will search for a Vaalmonica monster. We have an animation here. Cellatrice Vaalmonica is here. She is top tier in Heartbreaker's hands, searching for a Vaalmonica spell. We're going to use the Vaalmonica Imbater. Activate the Imbater, chaining Max C. We're going to cross out Designate, negate. This could be an attempt to special summon, but we're not going to since we already have the Cellatrice on the field. What we're going to be doing instead, we're going to be searching our deck for the Vaalmonica pendulums. We're going to put one into the extra monster zone, the extra monster deck that is, and then we're going to pendulum summon into a Baguska play potentially. But we probably don't have enough cards to Baguska actually. We're going to be banishing for the graveyard, searching our deck for the Viscera. We're going to activate the Viscera. Viscera minus 500, send from the deck to the grave the trap. We're now going to use the Angelo to copy the effect of the Viscera. Or no, that was the Viscera. We're going to grab the Invitere. And now, because we have 3 of the resonance counters, as you can see here. Oh, nice. And it allows us to summon the Zibufra. Zibufra is going to be able to copy the trap to spin a card on the field back to the hand and the back row. Monster and back row. And we are making Baguska. We do have the Baguska play. So let's go. This is great. All non-links are forced into defense and they are negated. Impermanence unfortunately stops both monsters. What the hail? We're going to copy the effect of the Celta because we could copy the trap or any other card in the graveyard or banish. And then we're going to, draw into a Veiler. Okay, draw 2, return 1. Also getting the Baguska negated. Baguska negate. We then are now Pendulum versus Pendulum. We got the Monkey board, which was banned in the TCG, banned everywhere. They recently unbanned it. We're going to chain Max C to the effect of the Synchron, which is special summoning to then Synchro with the back row. So that is going to be, level something, level 8? Is that an 8? That's an 8, mate. 8 on summon, special summon Draco Slayer from the deck, but the effect Veiler negates. Now, unfortunately, because of the Zebrufra being negated, it's not having the protection effect of the resonance scales. Ooh, this is a link summon on the attack declaration. It's a surprise. So we could link Zebrufra into a Zebrufra, but we already used the hard once return effect. So what do? I think it still gives us the destruction protection on the Baguska. If a card you control would be destroyed, it does not specify that it has to be a Vaalmonica. So we're going to summon a different one that's not negated, right? That's going to be the one. Let's go. Wait, we linked off with Baguska into it. Huh? Could this not be link summoned with? Cannot be summoned. Cannot be summoned if you have more. If a card would be destroyed. Would it be better to link over the other one? Or I guess this is fine. We'll have 2 of them. We have the Cellatrice and sent to the grave. We'll add from the grave back to our hand here. We're now going to have to be dealing with an Odd Eyes Revolution, searching the deck for nothing as the Ash Blossom negates. All right. It's not hard once return. Oh, you're right. You are right. This is activatable again. So we can, within the end phase, copy an effect from the grave or banishment to do it again. We could spin the Synchro back to the hand if we want to. Very good. Not hard once return. Spin it back. Now, there is something hard and once return about this card. It's special summon. So if you special summon it on your turn, you then special summon it on their turn. That's how you get around the hard once per turn. And then you got the soft effect of spinning cards back if you copy the trap. Very well done. And it could copy the trap whether it's in the graveyard or banished. Cellatrice is here. Come to me. Vaalmonica Celta. Vaalmonica Celta is going to be gaining life points to return a card, draw 2. Oh, this is the cool one. This is going to be giving us the ability to attack 3 times. Attack 1. Attack 2. Attack 3, and just like that, lethal damage. Also on summon, it destroys all of your opponent's monsters per the resonance counters you have. I believe that's the effect is. So if there were monsters to get popping, that's would have been the other cool effect. It would say on link summon, target monsters the opponent controls up to the number of resonance counters. Yep, exactly what I said. Very nicely done, Vaalmonica, round 1. Let's keep on going. We are setting up the Majesty Pegasus Draco Slayer, which famously searches for a field spell, right? You have a main deck Soul Release. It could be good if there is cards in the graveyard like the Promethean Princess and the new Fire King cards. Banish Garunix from the graveyard. Garunix triggers from the grave. Get that full out of here. So definitely, yes, nice. All right, let's keep on going. Max C in our draw phase. Can Vaalmonica one-turn kill? I don't know. Under Max C, are we really going to do that? We'd have to set up 3 resonance counters onto the Angelo, and then we could summon the one that wipes out the entire field and attacks 3 times. Do we have that play? I mean, it looks like we do. This will be searching for a monster, which we already used up our normal summon, but we could pendulum summon it onto the field. We're going to use the Celt. We're going for the gain life. We're gaining life. We're on 1 counter. We need 2 more counters. Gain life again. We need to gain life a second time. We couldn't do it. We randomly grabbed the trap instead of a spell that would have gained life a 3rd time, which we would have then, with just the Link 1, deal 7,500 damage plus Nibiru for game. That was quite unlucky. We have Vaalmonica followed Rhythm. Now, what's very cool about Masquerena and Vaalmonica, she does not need anybody. She is all by herself. She's going to link with herself into a Vaalmonica. That's amazing. I love that. We have Soul Release, banish the entire graveyard. Now, what's cool about Soul Release against this deck is we don't care. If this card's banished, our Link 1 could still interact with our banished cards and copy them. Let's do it. All right, banish everything. Set up the Pendulum Scale. We're waiting to whip out the Masquerena play. Chain the Max C. So the Masquerena play is going to be into the one that destroys monsters, not the one that copies cards in the grave or banishment. So we have to wait for when they get the most amount of monsters on field or just the Ignister Prominence, just like that. We're going to link off with herself on summon, wiping out the Ignister Prominence. Yes. Now, does she have any other additional effects that could help us? We're going to be negating the Sky Iris from popping and searching. Not on my watch. And what else do we have here? You could remove 3 resonance counters to get that triple attack play during your next turn. Otherwise, it has no destruction protection. We are going to be activating our Odd Eye Synchron, synchroning with our back row all under the Max C. We do not have a way to... Wait, you didn't even have a Link monster in the graveyard to equip to gain and negate? We just Borload Savage Dragon with no negate, 2,700 mate. Let's go. Now, you could take control of Borload if you gain 3 counters onto the Domino. Demono. Yes, come on, set it up. 2 more counters. 2 more effects that cost life points, and we steal any monster the opponent controls, and you can do this on the opponent's turn. It will trigger on the opponent's turn or on your turn, get yoinkin', and then you could link off with their monster. So we're going to be able to copy an effect in the graveyard that burns us for damage, and that burn will likely lead into another burn. We got to burn twice. Burn, 1 more time, 1 more burn, and we're stealing the Borload. Yes! Burn our life points, activate the field spell, yoink! Just like that. Angel's going to copy a card in the graveyard, minus 500, plus 500 life, that is. Link Shokan into the Duralume, remove the 3 counters, triple attack. Very well done. I do want to do a playtest series with this deck. I'm convinced. Heartbreaker, thank you very much. Lethal damage. Vaalmonica. A pretty good showcase. Pretty damn good one. Thank you very much. All right, that was within the tournament. Round 1. 2-0 victory, Vaalmonica. Let's go. Let's do it. New pack day. Pot of E. Limited to 1. Randomly banishing off the top of our extra deck, or, random from the extra deck. Area set a trap and it's activatable that turn. So you set the Welcome Labyrinth, and just like that, activate someone from the deck. They chain Ash. The Arius in the graveyard would be reborn from the grave if they chain anything to any of your Labyrinth cards. Ariana on summon searching for the Torby. Torby getting a transaction rollback in the grave. We can now, with the transaction rollback, copy any trap in the grave that we want, but we're going to wait on that copy. Let's wait. It's better to copy the big Welcome Labyrinth instead. Now, Vaalmonica activating the field spell to search for a monster. They are now... Ooh, so the Dimension Ground, could this have stopped it? Any monster sent to the grave is banished instead. So let's read this. This states that you can discard one of the cards. So it does not matter. It does not have to go to the graveyard. It would not stop the effect, but it would be banished instead. Because now it triggers. When sent to the graveyard, it's going to be adding from the grave back to the hand. We now have a negate, the Celta Mate, which is I would say a pretty good negate. This will be grabbing a Vaalmonica spell trap from your deck to your hand. Maybe negating the Invitere is better. So that's something I'll be keeping an eye out on what we should actually be negating. Imperm onto the Celatrice. Celatrice attempting to search for any Vaalmonica card from your deck. I do not think so. It's pretty much an additional Celta. We're now going to, on the resolution, big welcome Labyrinth. Lovely is here. Return back to Ariana, trigger the Lovely, pop a card in the field, non-target poppage. And the welcome Labyrinth plus the Torby triggers in the graveyard to reborn in set. Now with the Torby on the field plus Lovely, that's a Chaos Angel to banish any card in the field, but it's not our turn. Did we... We're waiting. We're waiting on Lovely to pop. Okay, we were waiting. We did not trigger the pop. No pop. Okay, no pop. Different dimension ground. Pendulum scales don't go to the graveyard, they go to the extra, but they tip their toe in the graveyard, so instead of going to the extra deck, they now get banished instead. So that's kind of annoying. We're going to be going for the return a card back, draw 2. We're playing Wanted Seeker in our Vaalmonica deck. What are you doing? Diablo Star is going to be discarding a spell. Otherwise, you can't send a monster because it has to be going to the graveyard. We're going to be setting up a Sinful Spoils of Subversion. We're going to transaction roll back right here, right now. Trigger the Lovely by summoning a lady, return back the Torby. Now we can pop that Subversion before it pushes us back. Now, Wanted Seeker is going to be drawing a card here. Return back and get that free draw. A reason why I think the card's probably going to get banned within the next 2 ban lists, very likely. Baguska, Plan B pass. Everything into defense. Now, how do we out the Baguska? Usually a Link monster is going to be the way. Now, we don't have a Link monster to deal with it. So what is our play? Well, big welcome in the graveyard. If we control level 8 or higher fiend, we can just return it back to the hand. Trigger late, Lovely, pop a card in the field. So very easily outed. Just like that, get popping. Celatrice in the graveyard, triggering to return back to the hand. Arius, because technically you are activating in response to us activating, even though you're triggering in your own thing, it still counts as you chaining to us. Thus, we have a free Arius in the field, which is activatable on the field to tribute itself to set a card from the hand or special summon a card from the hand. Setting up the field spell with the Welcome Labyrinth, that is a non-target pop a card in the field. We're going to further Shokan this up into a Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel on summon, banish any card on the field, and just like that, 9,400 damage. Let's take this into game 2. All right, yeah, Vaalmonica did well in the other match. Not doing well in this one, but there still is another duel at least. All right, let's get to it. Vaalmonica, Demano is going to discard a card, setting up the double pendulum scales. You have field spell searching for a monster. Normal summoning our Celatrice. On summon, search our deck for any Vaalmonica card. We got the Celta, which will also search our deck for any card. The Invitere special summoning Angelo instead of setting it into our extra deck plus adding another one to our hand. That's quite interesting. Maybe because we only play 2 of the pendulum scales. That's what I'm thinking. Otherwise, we all 3 have been used actually. The Dimino is in the graveyard, on the field, and on the field. So we couldn't use the better effect of putting into the extra deck plus our hand. So this was not a misplay. We just didn't have another copy in our deck. We have the Disharmonia is here. Disharmonia is going to be activating to -500, send from the deck to the grave the trap that we could copy from the grave. We're going to be using the Angelo to copy the effect of the Viscere. Viscere is going to be adding a card here. And what did it add? The Viscere is... -500, take a card center from the deck. What did we call? We copied the effect to gain life. That is excavate until you gain. It looks like we skipped the okay, we revealed then added. So we just randomly excavated the top card of our deck to our hand. As we now make our turn 1 Baguska play as we added the trap in the grave back to the hand. So we do have the effect of the trap, the main play, destroy a back row, plus return a monster, plus do it again through the link, and all our cards are protected from destruction, and we have Baguska where every non-link is forced into defense and is negated. Let's go. Now with the transaction rollback being sent to the graveyard, it's going to be able to copy a trap in the grave. We have big welcome now set on the field. Ideally, we want to have a monster in the field before we activate that big welcome play. All right, set up a welcome labyrinth. We're going to use it right here, right now. So you're going to get a monster on the fields. So now I get the additional effect to be able to return back your monster and pop the back row. It's non-targeting though, right? So we activate the trap, and then you could, if you control Vaalmonica Link, you could apply both effects in sequence. We did not want to return one monster to the field. It's a non-target. Okay? We have the big welcome activating from the graveyard, returning Baguska on the field. Back to the hand you go. Be gone. We still have Destruction Protection with our Vaalmonica Link. The field spell is why we didn't return it back. We wanted to take control of the lady. As soon as we gain a third resonance counter onto one of our scales, it triggers the field spell to take. So thank you very much. Come to me, lady. Celetrice from the graveyard to only activate and add back to the hand. That's all it's doing here. It's not adding to Disruption. Now, our only other form of Disruption is the Link copying the trap to spin a monster and pop a back row. We still have that play. Get ready. We have the Ariana on summon searching for the Torby. We're going to be activating it right now, copying the trap, spinning back the Ariana early, and not using the effect to also pop a trap in addition to spin a monster back. Was that the correct play? Now, of course, you have to give back the lady in the end phase. And if you're not familiar with Vaalmonica, if they take control of your monster, they want you to declare an attack. If you declare an attack, it triggers their pendulum scale to link with the monster that they stole. So do not do that. Not that you need tips on how to beat Vaalmonica. We're going to be Pendulum Shokanning. Now, the Celetrice does not trigger on Special Summon, but she does trigger on Normal or Pendulum Summon. Area Special Summon Ariana from the hand that you return back to my hand. We're going to trigger its effect on Summon, search in our deck for the Coup Clock, which will allow us to, with the lady, set an entirely new trap from the deck, and then the clock will allow it to be activatable. This is where we want to chain link block the lady with any quick effects like the Seeker. Chain Seeker to a trap, and then lady's not going to set a new trap that will be activatable. There you go. Perfect chain link block. That is the way. Arius will trigger Reborning from the graveyard. Big welcome. We have to chain link block again, or a new trap will be set, and that new trap will be activatable. Now, does clock have to be sent to the graveyard? It does not. It could discard and be banished and still have its play go through. Unfortunately, that newly set trap with the Coup Clock is going to be activatable. What are we grabbing from the deck? Probably a Daruma Cannon. Daruma Cannon will flip the whole field face down plus send the link to the grave. Yes, indeed, that's exactly what it is. The Link one has Destruction Protection, but not if it's going to be sent to the grave through the effect of forcing the opponent to send it to the grave, you being the opponent. We're going to be summoning an Arius, grabbing Diablo Star. Now, Diablo Star can only be summoned if you could send a card to the graveyard, and this is ensuring that any monster sent to the grave is banished instead, so we could still send a spell or trap. Lovely trigger. Chandelier trigger, add from the grave back to the hand. Torby trigger, summon itself onto the field here. We have a non-target pop happening. Welcome Labyrinth is going to be setting itself onto the field. We are ready and waiting with the Daruma. Now, the Link 1 cannot copy a card in the grave on your own turn. It's only during the opponent's turn can we copy a card to spin a card back and pop a back row. We are going to be, so we did protect ourselves from destruction here. On the resolution, I guess it doesn't really show it as well. Okay, it does. We tried to pop the pendulum scale, and then the Zebufera protected itself by removing 3 of the resonance counters to protect from destruction. And it's not a hard one to turn. Usually, the destruction protection cards of many are once this turn, and this is per, if you have 3 of the resonance counters, every time you're going to protect. So we have 6 more scales. We have 2 more protections from destruction. Anti-destruction against Labyrinth is very good. But we really need right now, so the point of contention here is we need a 3rd resonance counter on the Angelo. If we can get a 3rd resonance counter on the Angelo, we're going to be able to link off into the Link 1 that on summon will destroy the entire field of monsters and then attack for game. So what can Labyrinth do to stop that? Well, the Daruma Cannon. So come to us. We got the 3rd counter, trigger the field spell, steal monster. Thank you for the Ariana. This is it. This is it. On summon, wipe out the Torby, wipe out the Arius, open field for lethal, but the Daruma Cannon is going to stop lethal damage. Wait, we can't activate Daruma because the clock states you have to control a Labyrinth monster on the field in order to activate it. So you have to, where does it say? If you control a Labyrinth monster. While we don't control a Labyrinth monster right now, the lady's going to special summon. Thus, we control Labyrinth. Thus, now we could use the Daruma, but we weren't even big enough to take out the lady. Thus, not even forcing us to activate Daruma. What the hell? Little Knight on summon is going to be forcing out the Daruma. Daruma activate. We're going to be using the Little Knight to banish itself plus another monster to dodge the Daruma Cannon. Now, had there not been a lady on the field, there's a play with the Little Knight to banish both of your monsters and keep the Little Knight on the field, and she won't be sent to the grave because a monster must be flipped face down in order for this to resolve. But because there's 3 monsters that would be potentially flipped down, there's no play around it. Flip, nothing to send to the grave. We're going to be following up with the Disharmonia to add a banish card, I believe. We're adding a card back to our hand from the grave or banish. We're now going to be special summoning for the deck with the Invitaire, come forth, Angelo, copy the gain life point effect. Now we're going to further Shokan into the Zebufera to copy the trap in the grave. So we're still in a very good spot here. We're going to be able to non-target spin a monster back and destroy a back row. We can do it twice. We got double. So spin back, pop, banish in response to an activation. We got plays. Yup. Let's go. To battle phase we go. If they declare an attack, oh, that is unfortunate. They're going to set a trap from the deck, and we are losing the Zebufera. Zebufera could copy the trap only if it's in the graveyard, not while it's on the field. So if we don't have another trap in the grave or banished, we do lose out on that form of disruption. So we're going to chain the effect before we lose our Zebufera. This is not a disruptive effect. We're going to copy the Disharmonia. Disharmonia is going to add a banished card back into the extra deck. Now, there's a secret effect in play that maybe the Labyrinth player did not read. The play is when the opponent declares an attack, you're going to link summon on the attack. We could re-summon the Zebufera back onto the field. Are you going to declare an attack? We are in the battle phase. That's it. We fell for it. On the attack declaration, we're going to link off into the Daralume. Daralume is here. Daralume, was that the correct card to summon, though? Daralume on summon can destroy Lady, but Lady can't be destroyed. The Zebufera could have returned the Lady back to the hand, plus destroy the back row card. I'm not sure if that was the right play. Huh. I think that was a potential done goof. We're going to summon Ariana, grabbing the field spell here. And let's go, field spell it up. Now our non-labyrinth traps will trigger to summon a fiend from the grave or from the hand. We also, with the labyrinth trap, will non-target pop a card in the field, which is another reason why we needed the Zebufera. Zebufera protects us from the destruction effects. Nothing on the field would be destroyable because we have 10 resonance counters. That means 3 forms of destruction we would protect, all even within the same turn. We have the Muckraker, reborning the Lovely from the graveyard. Lovely setting up a Dogmatic Punishment, another form of destruction. So we had destroy, and the Zebufera could protect from all 3 forms of destruction. And now we're going to get destroyed before we even get to the main phase. Sending the Entis trigger, Lovely trigger, pop a card, wiping out the Pendulum Scale. If you lose a scale with a ton of resonance counters, you cry. That's why you need the Zebufera to protect from that destruction. The Labyrinth is reborning a monster from the graveyard here. It's not destroying. Not yet. The Welcome Labyrinth set is going to allow it to destroy any card in the field. I think this is it. Our field is now being completely dismantled. Goodbye to one of our Pendulum Scales. Goodbye to both. We had 10 resonance counters, now gone. What can the deck do with 0 resonance counters and no Pendulum Scales? What's crazy about this card is if you don't have a Vaalmonica in your back row, your opponent chooses the effect for you. So the whole deck is reliant on having the Vaalmonicas and the Pendulum Scales. Otherwise, they control your effects. So the opponent's going to choose that you take damage. Okay. We are now going to Shokan into Baguska. We're going for Zeus. But Daruma's going to flip that full face down. We're going to Chain Lady to the Daruma, set a trap from the deck. Let's go. We still have the non-target pop effect of the Labyrinth. Whenever we want, pop any card in the field non-targeting. So what do? We could stop. Okay, the Diablo Star setting up a back row card. We could pop the back row card if it is dangerous enough. The original Sinful, we probably don't care about that. We're just going to let it go through. Snake Eye Vaalmonica? What? This is the first time we're seeing Snake Eye in your deck here. What the heck? I mean, we saw Diablo Star. I didn't know you're actually playing Snake Eye in this. Poplar trigger, grabbing a Subversion. We're now going to get popping. Take out the Snake Eye Ash before you summon a Flame Burge, which I'm not, maybe you were playing it. I don't know. I don't have your deck list. Good job to both players. Thank you very much. That is a 2-0 victory. I'm sorry, Vaalmonica, but you're out.